how do you find the difference between Russian and American billionaires?
Oh, well, you know, that's an interesting thing. I will say in the scope of writing this story, I had a lot of contact with some very wealthy Russian people, and the conversations were always very funny. And, you know, I would say things, oh, we got a bottle of champagne to celebrate. It's like, oh, we don't drink champagne. Or, you know, the things that they do is in a very different world than they buy a winery, they don't drink wine. They have a level of wealth. The boats, you know, the boats have to be the biggest and brashest and incredible things you've ever seen. The airplanes, you know, if you look at Abramovich's airplane, which no one's really been inside, maybe someone here has been inside, I don't know, is a 767 with a 30-person dining room and a missile defense system. And his boat has 2 helicopters and a submarine. And it's the level of wealth is unbelievable. And they have security like you wouldn't believe. Security is extremely important to them. Abramovich is said to have 65 security officers. So every one of these guys you meet has 4 or 5 people. There's multiple cars that come up. If they were in a room like this, there would be 2 or 3 people back there and 2 people there, and there would be 3 cars parked outside, and that's just the way they live. Even, you know, one of them came to visit me in Boston, and we were at the Mandarin Hotel in Boston, and I'm sitting with him, and there's another table over there, people, and a table over there, people, and yet even so, he noticed in the lobby, he said, oh, there's a Russian man over there. And I go, how do you know that? He said, I know. And it wasn't one of his people, but their eyes are always on the room. So I feel like they developed over the time of building their wealth this kind of paranoia, I guess, but rightful paranoia. Yeah.
And what is it? The bigger the better? It's the insecurity? What is it? It's just that they never had anything growing up.
Well, part of it is they grew up very poor.
And they got it so quickly.
Yeah.
Would they want to show off? What is it?
I don't think it's showing off at all. I think it's they were very poor growing up for most of these people, and they now have this level of wealth that insulates them and isolates them, but they want everything to be bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, it might be partly a game, a competitive game with other people who are wealthy. Part of it is seeking a level of respect in a more, you know, in a social setting. They hobnob with people who have made their money in different countries and they want to be at the same level as everyone else. I don't know. I mean, it's a good question, but they definitely live very big. Russian billionaires live big. You know, they buy massive estates and wineries and airplanes and boats. So it's not sort of the quiet Boston money where I live in Boston. You can't tell who's rich and who's not rich, other than, you know, when you're at their house, they drive a Volvo. You know, you don't know who's wealthy and who's not. But in London, you do know who's wealthy.